You are rolling.
We are here at the Leo Auto Sales today, Saturday, January 15th, to talk to Michael Z, we call him, Mike Zaccardi. He was actually a personal witness to some incredible greatness, and it's very unusual that we all here at the Leo Auto Sales experience such greatness. I thought it was time that we talk with Mike to give a little background of this special event that we're going to be making this presentation later. Of course, we're going to give a little background as to what actually happened. Mike, now I did bring this toilet paper roll here. I'm going to leave this here just in case you get emotional.
I am feeling emotional. It was an emotional day.
Mike, why don't you first tell us about yourself a little bit? What is it you do here at Leo Auto Sales? You are
basically right-hand man.
Right-hand man.
I contribute as needed.
Yes, yes, and you were, if I understand correctly, you were moving cars up to our other storage yard with Marc Goldberg, who is the. We always thought he was very special. I think that's important.
Yeah,
didn't we always think that?
We were always, and I knew him a few years obviously before I worked here, and I always had the feeling. But what I witnessed that day just brought it up to another
level. It was pretty special, wasn't it, Mike?
Another whole round. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. Just give me a moment here, please.
Yeah.
I hate to use these public displays of emotion.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing.
All right.
So we were. Let's just see. You walking up the street, coming from our storage lot, going towards our lot here, and you were passing the other used car lot, Patel Auto World. And put it in your own words, Mike. What happened?
Well, we were coming up through Patel's, and there was still obviously snow still on the ground with some icy edges, and Mark had been talking about this or that on the way up, and we were approaching the far end of the lot, and there was a kind of chain, not a fence, but a chain link going all the way across.
Yeah.
And Mark looked over that and said to me basically something to the effect of, I should try jumping over that now. So
now wait, hold on. I have to stop right there for a second. We have to back. You saw the chain fence, but somehow Mark made a decision he had to jump over, but yet you weren't interested in jumping over.
No, I wasn't interested in jumping over it. To be honest with you, I always kind of say this humorously, but my mama didn't raise no fool.
All right, that's important.
So
it's funny you say that because I remember watching a video in Chappelle where Leonard Washington said, "Papa don't take no mess."
There you go. So it's
apparently that might fall in as well.
It's similar. It's a similar thought behind that philosophy.
But anyway, keep going.
So I said to him, I realized what I was witnessing. First of all, was an act of bravery.
Yeah.
And in total defiance of good common sense.
That's all. That is Mark's motto.
Yeah.
We have known that to happen. That way.
But I still kind of started to sense. There's almost this power emanate. You just kind of.
There was like almost an aura.
An aura. Thank you.
That's what it was.
An aura. It was a purplish aura that I actually witnessed, and it frightened me a little bit because it was so intense.
It's almost like a miracle.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to put any religious overtones in this, but
that's a good point. We shouldn't really go there.
But it's maybe spiritual.
Almost spiritual.
Within the realm of nature or whatever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I remember pulling back a few feet.
Because it was intimidating.
It was very intimidating.
When you saw that aura.
I couldn't believe he was actually saying it because I thought it was a very dangerous undertaking, But by my standards.
And being a witness to that type of bravery.
That was intimidating.
It was.
I recognized.
See, I'm personally getting a little emotional myself.
All right, excuse me.
Yeah. All right.
Me too.
He needs this.
Yeah. All right.
Our cameraman needs it. Okay. I was a little intimidated, but I was also fascinated. And he had said to me, "I'm going to try it." I said, "You're really going to try that?" And I was stunned because I would not have even thought.
You wouldn't have even attempted that.
No.
Mere mortals normally.
No, mere mortals do not do that. They walk. They don't fly.
That's why they have the chain. The chain actually, in my book, normally when they put a chain up, that's because you want to walk around it. It's not designed.
Exactly. And that was my same.
But Mark,
I said to him, "I'm going to walk around."
Right. But
he
Mark
said,
decided,
"I'm going to hurdle that." And I said to him, "Well, if you really feel you need to."
Go for it.
Go for it.
And with the aura there and everything, you knew that you were not going to change. It was almost like a divine light came down.
Thank you. It was an unshakable force.
The course of history was set in stone.
It was set. It was.
And so Mark made his wind up.
He made his wind up. I pulled back maybe a couple feet off to the side.
Yeah.
Made his wind up. Actually, almost at the spot where he had decided he was going to run from, and he leaped into the air.
And
Well, I was so overcome with the intensity and the emotion of it, I almost fell backwards in a faint. But it happened. You have to understand, this happened quickly. This was not something dragged out over 20 minutes or anything. But the next thing I knew, he was suspended in air,
floating almost.
Almost floating. Like, I mean, this is
hovering.
Hovering is a word. This might look awkward, but this
floating. Yes, I get the picture.
This is kind of.
Our folks at home may not get the picture, but he kind of locked himself up.
He lifted. It was a moment. Michael Jordan going to the basket.
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar flying.
Dr. J.
Rocky the Flying Squirrel.
Exactly.
All right.
That's right.
All of those combined.
Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody.
Sherman
and Mr. Peabody.
Wile E. Coyote.
All that.
All in
the Road Runner.
And Mark Goldberg.
The Road Runner with the blazing speed.
That's right.
Off.
There was there actual fire coming
from
the speed?
You know, I don't want to say it because it's sometimes in the intensity of an emotional situation like that, you kind of misinterpret what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I actually believe they were almost like sparks, like the Greek god of speed, Mercury.
Very good.
You know what? I mean, I'm sorry.
I wasn't there, but I think our home audience is really getting the picture. Your description, I have to say.
It's very important to me because you have to understand, I held this in for a couple of weeks. I didn't talk about it. And now it's just all coming
out.
I mean, what I thought about at the moment he suspended himself briefly into air before the fall, before the fall, was it reminded me of Greek Olympian gods coming down off the mountain.
So
Pluto,
he launched himself.
Zeus.
He launched himself almost like a rocket ship. He launched towards and suspended. What happened after that?
Well, there's a little bit of confusion as to what actually happened.
Yeah.
All right. Now. And I'm even going to.
And you know what, Mike? That's what we're here to do. We're here to clear up confusion and let the public know exactly what happened that day.
I'm not going to use the word disappointment.
Yes.
Surprise a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the next thing, as I stood back, obviously like this, and just aghast at the whole spectacle, as he was flying, it seemed momentarily that his
aura
kind of disappeared a little bit.
Right.
It thinned. Now he's up in the air at this point, and it looked like the toe on the right foot.
Yeah. Caught the chain.
Caught the chain.
And he did like a little spin there.
And it was how can I describe this? Almost like an Olympic gymnast.
Yeah.
Dismounting.
Right. He did a little spin.
A little spin, and
landed on his back.
The arms went and landed. Yes, basically on his back. Yeah, on his back. I was hoping he would land on the side and give me that vision of almost like an athletic drop. But it was a fall, what I call the winner's spread. You know what I mean? Yeah. On his back.
He landed on his back.
On his back.
All right. At that point, was the concrete damaged?
The concrete wasn't damaged. The ice and snow were badly indented.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So it's possible the concrete was damaged.
Yeah. Right. I know this is emotional.
I'm sorry.
This is emotional.
I just need a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is emotional.
It's very emotional.
I am bowled over personally.
I mean, at that point, there was so much energy. I guess just spiritual energy flowing around me. My first thought was, do I go over to him and help him? Then I thought, someone with those superhuman powers
doesn't require that kind of
my assistance.
No.
Who's Mike Z? I mean,
right.
A mere mortal.
We're regular people here in witness to greatness.
I would imagine that he's seen now. You know, I can't really verify this, but because of the situation, how everything was clouded, but almost like to magically lift up off of the ground in one fell swoop, and actually momentarily, maybe a second, hover above it before he actually made contact with the ground again, and then grabbed his leg and basically said, "I am hurt."
So, in a moment of greatness, our hero, we of course we've always looked up to him.
Yes, but now
we never realized
he could fly.
We didn't know he could fly, but he certainly did fly, and now he made the supreme sacrifice, didn't he?
Well, he sacrificed his body.
He had to make, but I think it was one of those things where he had to do it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I believe at that moment, you know, and again, not to make any biblical comparisons,
right.
but they, according to the Bible, you know, Christ had his moment where he realized what he was born to do.
Yeah.
I believe Mark at that moment, Mark Goldberg, felt in his heart this was his time.
He had to do it.
It's no longer keeping this in.
That's right.
And keeping these gifts hidden.
It's almost like in the Matrix when what's his name?
Nemo?
No, that wasn't Nemo. We're having trouble with the name, but he jumped into the body of the other guy and he popped out and the guy exploded. It was kind of like that.
That's right.
It was almost like
compelled.
Yeah, Mark jumped into greatness and exploded out. In one big jump.
In one big jump. That's exactly. That's a very good analogy there, comparison.
Yeah.
It was almost like a.
And so now today, and I'm assuming that with the police are here, the CIA, the
we
FBI,
have Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
They have several sharpshooters on the golf course.
Because at this point, we're going to have a special presentation.
Yeah.
To Mark. I'm not sure, but I did hear there's a chance that Obama will be here.
I heard a rumor about that.
I heard a helicopter fly over.
Now, and I heard a rumor. I didn't want to jump the gun on that because you hear so many things. I believe he might actually be coming. Now, let me tell you what I heard. Now, this may not be true. I know we're going to make the war presentation, but I heard a few words thrown around like Congressional Medal of Honor. Now I don't.
I can't think of a better. I mean,
that really gets me emotional.
Yeah. But, the Purple Heart wouldn't apply because there hasn't been comment. But I think the Congressional Medal. He really needs to be recognized on that level, Mike.
Well, I mean, listen. What he didn't just do for me or you. He did for his country. He did for all Americans.
For mankind.
For mankind.
For all of mankind.
And maybe I would say the Nobel Peace Prize, but that's just me. I might be going.
I think it's definitely had an effect on at least on our lives.
Oh, it really has. I mean, I think we're doing what we have to do. We're trying to get done what we have to do, but it's kind of stopped us in our tracks. I think. I mean, I know at night. I mean, I'm not sleeping.
I haven't. Me personally, in witness, my sleep patterns have definitely been affected.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see you walking around the building. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the daze.
It's a daze of greatness.
It is. It's being in the presence of greatness. Like
yes,
that.
yes.
And I mean, it was almost.
John, come on in. We're in the middle of our interview right now. We're talking about greatness and Mark and I think John, come in here.
I'm not going to that.
John, absolutely.
That's embarrassing.
John, it is embarrassing, but the thing is that anytime you're speaking about Mark, you're speaking about greatness. You can't help but be affected.
I mean, it's an emotional thing for me.
Yeah.
I witnessed it.
You can't help but be affected. We're going to take a small break right now, Mike. Mike, let's take a small break right now.
I just have to collect my.
Cut.